Good afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon and it's actually rather a beautiful day. We've had a little bit of rain, we've had a lot of gorgeous clouds scudding past. It's a little bit breezy, but it's bright and it's been sunny. So I said to Paul, I really fancy a cake, but I don't fancy a cake. What do I fancy? Something with chocolate. Buy chocolate now, I said to him yesterday. He did do, and it arrived in our delivery, our shopping delivery, because we're not going to the shops. No, we're not risking it. No, we're getting online deliveries. Convenient. Perfect. Great. So, chocolate brownie cake. That's what I'm making. So it's a chocolate brownie in the shape of a cake. I just wanted to say before we start that if you're looking for vegan, gluten-free, flour-free, fat-free, chocolate-free, egg-free, then this is not the cake you're looking for. Go about your business, move along. This is full fat, full sugar, chocolate hit. That's what I want, and that's what I'm going to make. I only make things that I want to eat. I have tried sort of vegan, raw chocolate, no flour, blah, 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 and I didn't like it. No, it didn't have the flavour that I wanted. It was flavour-free, taste-free. So, as you'll appreciate, I'm making something gorgeous, which is suitable for Christmas, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, maybe not, because it's probably not kosher. Anyway, suitable for all occasions, and afternoon tea as well, which this will be consumed with, I'm sure, when Paul gets back from the plot. So come with me to the kitchen and let's have a look at the ingredients I'll be using today for this gorgeous chocolate cake fudge brownie thing. So ingredients and equipment. So over here I've got a 20 centimetre silicone cake tin, which I've lined and I've greased with a little bit of butter. I've got a mixing bowl and a saucepan. So, ingredients wise, 2 eggs whisked up, 100 grams of butter, 125 grams of caster sugar, 75 grams of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, 100 grams of plain chocolate. You could use milk if you wanted to, but it might be just too sweet. I'm going to be using a tablespoon of honey, and finally 100 grams of self-raising flour. Before we start, I just wanted to mention about cacao powder. So some of you might be wondering what the difference is between cacao and cocoa. Well, they both come from the cacao bean. So they both have the same origins, but it's the way in which they're processed which makes the difference. So, for example, cacao beans are harvested, they are dried, and then they're ground. So that's raw cacao powder. Cocoa powder is the result of the beans being roasted. So they're processed further and therefore have a slightly mellower flavour. So cacao powder is a little bit more bitter than cocoa powder. So that's the difference. So let's get started. So start with the saucepan on a very low heat, very gentle low heat. In goes the butter to begin with. We want to melt that butter. Break it up if you want to. That will help it melt a little bit quicker. And we do not want this to burn or boil. Just keep stirring it to help it to melt. Once that's melted, add your sugar. So brown sugar and your caster sugar. Just keep stirring them just so they start to blend and melt together. Get rid of any lumps. In cookery, this method is called the melting method. It's one of the things you learn when you do cookery. One of the many methods. It's very often used to make things like flapjacks or cheesecake bases, things like that. That's looking gorgeous. It's almost looking like caramel. We're going to add to that a tablespoon of honey. Gorgeous. Once that's started to melt together, add your chocolate. I know this is counterintuitive to some people, but we very often melt chocolate on a bain-marie, but we're going to put this straight in and let it melt. That's why you've got to have a very, very low heat. And in fact, if it looks like the chocolate's melting really well, take the heat off. And it's melting in the heat of the butter and the sugar. It smells divine. Look at the colour of that. Oh, pure chocolate heaven. Once all your chocolate has melted, you want to transfer this to a bowl. Now at this stage I've also put my oven on as well. Okay, so add your eggs. Sorry about that, I should have done it the other way. And mix them. Don't worry if it looks weird or starts to curdle or anything like that. Just don't worry about that. Just keep mixing. And it will come together. Lovely. Add your flour and your cacao powder. It's important that you make sure it's all completely combined. I mean, look at that. That is just gorgeousness in a bowl, isn't it? Oh. Transfer the mixture to the cake tin. Now I'm using a rubber spatula. It's so gooey, this mixture, it really is. Et voila, it's ready for the oven. Now it's going to cook at either 180 if you've not got a fan, 160 if you have got a fan, which I think is about gas mark 4. And we're going to cook it for about 25 to 30 minutes. There we have it. Half an hour later, just out of the oven. Let it cool for about 10 minutes in its tin, and then you're going to transfer it to a wire rack to finish cooling down. So here we have it. So a chocolate brownie should be crisp on the top and gooey in the centre. So let's have a little look and see. It's definitely crisp on the top and it's definitely soft inside. Now when I say this has cooled down, it's still warm. So I'm hoping I can so you can see it's got a soft gooey centre. So to be absolutely honest with you, we're eating this when it's still kind of warm. So it's still really gooey in the centre, but that's fine because as it cools down, it sets. But I'm just too greedy and can't wait.
That's lovely and chocolatey.
Oh my God.
Do we get another slice when it's cooled down fully?
No, I'm just going to throw the rest in the bin. Oh my God. I mean, what you can actually do, if it's cooled down and you want to have it hot, you can microwave it. It's good, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. Wow.
This is the best you've made. I prefer this to your lovely brownies.
Oh my God. That is just...
And is it fat-free and sugar-free?
Of course.
Good.
That is just divine. Absolutely divine.
It's quite big, isn't it?
Well, I thought we'd send a couple of slices down to our neighbour.
I think so.
But, compared to a cake, there's a lot less fat in it.
What's that?
When in a cake you'd use 200 to 225 of butter.
How much
grams.
is
100 grams.
Oh, that's good.
But there's shitloads of sugar. So thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.
That was bloody lovely.
It was.